premier game of the week here, the Bills and the Chiefs. We are looking at a 3-point spread in favor of the Chiefs. 56.5 is your total. Guys, I mean, we've got some really good games this week. We've got some games that we could consider in any other week to be the premier game. We are getting the number 1 and number 2 power rank team according to what we have going on over at the lines. Bills number 1 in a lot of people's rankings. Chiefs number 1 in a lot of people's rankings. None of the teams below number 4 in any power ranking that you're going to see. And we're getting them this early in the season. Now, this line has moved from 2.5 yesterday to the Chiefs at 3 now. So the Chiefs have taken some money across the board. It's 3 at DraftKings, MGM, FanDuel. There is a 2.5 left at PointsBet if you are looking to take the Chiefs. 56.5 is the total here. Brad, you do have a bet in on this one, so let's start with you. Are you backing the Bills? Are you backing the Chiefs?
I'm backing the Chiefs. Yeah, I'm still seeing 2.5 minus 115 around. So I would snap that up. Like, as you say, Football Outsiders, DVOA, Bills number 1, ESPN's FPI, Bills number 1. It's just wrong. I really strongly believe that it's wrong because it's all based on this Bills defense. Like, Football Outsiders in their column this week, it's the best defensive start to a season since the 70s. Right, they've played the corpse of Ben Roethlisberger. They've played the mix of Tua, Jacoby Brissett. They've played Davis Mills. And then they played Taylor Heineke, who we've talked about earlier, is garbage. Like, this defense is the same defense that we saw last year, where it's borderline top 10. It's a good defense, but it's not better than that, and it's not going to slow down this Chiefs offense, which is it's better than ever. Let me just find their stats, but they're going at the same points per drive as like the 07 Patriots at the minute. I think they've had the fewest drives in the NFL, but they're still scoring the most points per drive, most yards per drive. It's truly elite, and it's almost overlooked now, I think, because it's Mahomes. So, if we also just think back quickly to this AFC Championship game last year, so there was about 10,000 fans in the stadium. Mahomes had a banged up leg or ankle, but he was missing 3 of his offensive linemen, and the Chiefs went off minus 3.5, and they beat the brakes off the Bills. So why are we going through the 3? With a healthier Mahomes and a healthier offensive line? And we could also say that the Bills' offense is way worse than it was last year. Like, Josh Allen is in the bottom half of the league in PFF grading. The Bills, they're 23rd in early down success rate, non-garbage time. So, I just think this line is completely wrong, and I cannot believe we're being given the Chiefs minus 2.5 at home.
Stephen, if we take a look at this, I mean, yes, the Chiefs defense is nothing to write home about. However, we've been giving a pass to some of these other teams that we talk about. The Chiefs have started out Browns, Ravens, Chargers, and then we said this Eagles team is kind of sneaky good, even though, it doesn't really bear fruit from what you really see on the outside. But if you look at the advanced metrics, this Eagles offense is actually much better than we think as well. So it's not like they have just been handed an easy early portion of the schedule either, right? And then you look at again, Browns playoff team, Ravens playoff team, Chargers we think is probably going to be a playoff team. So yes, the defense has been bad, but it's been against some pretty good teams as well.
On top of that, the Bills' offense, in terms of the advanced metrics, has been middle of the road. It hasn't been outstanding. In the game where they were outstanding, they played the Houston Texans. So they played the Miami Dolphins in a blowout. But if you look at the numbers, it was not really, it was kind of fluky. It was some special team stuff. So, I'm kind of with you guys on this one. Like, we do a power rankings exercise each week, Matt, but we look at it differently than we do when we're handicapping an individual game. And everything Brad said is absolutely true. I was surprised to see it under a field goal, and I will drive home the point he said that I think matters most. All of the love that Buffalo is getting from the defensive side doesn't mean squat to me at this point, to be honest with you, considering that the quarterbacks they played. So prove it to me against Patrick Mahomes. If you do, I tip my hat to you, but this line should not be under 3.
I agree. Listen, the Chiefs, yes, they're going to give up some points. There's no doubt about it. This Bills offense is still pretty good. It's not like this is going to be any sort of blowout or whatever. But the problem is you just can't stop the Chiefs from scoring. They get the ball and they score, and they get the ball and they score, and they get the ball.
They've
and
only
they score.
stopped themselves, right? It's been turnovers.
Yes,
that's it.
It's been turnovers, and that's it. It really has. It is the only time they get the ball and don't score is because they give the ball back to the other team or some sort of fumble, some sort of whatever. So they can avoid that, then they win this game. In my opinion, I think they win this game fairly handily. So I also as well too took the 2.5 here on the Chiefs, and I feel comfortable having that in the account. I am perfect. I have the Chiefs personally power rated number 1 to me. I still think that they are the number 1 team in football, and I think that's going to play out this week in this one. Give me the Chiefs at 2.5 as well. Me and Brad will be rooting for the same thing.